Doesn't everyone wish that they had a class that looked just like this? But instead, you teach in a classroom that might look like this.
Fall is here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and pens, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
I want to talk about classroom management. It's one of those things that if you have it down, your day goes a lot better, and if you don't have it down, you feel like every other teacher in the building is better than you are. If you have tight classroom management, it makes your days 100 times easier, infinitely easier. It's the thing you dream about. It's the thing that if you're not good at classroom management, you sweat it at night and you think about that kid and how he won't pay attention, or how someone threw something at someone else, or maybe someone bit a kid. Who knows what happened in your classroom? But it's the easiest thing for us to get down on ourselves with. The tricky part about classroom management is that it's different for every single person. When I came into teaching, like when you start teaching and they say things like, don't smile until Christmas. If you smile, they're gonna know that you're nice and they're gonna take advantage of you. And so I tried that, and guess what? It didn't work because that's not my personality. For some people, that works because it's either part of your personality or it's the part that you're willing to play and be consistent on it. Got it. For me, it's always been relational. For me, relationship is king. And so what I mean by that is, if I'm having a problem with a student, I'll just say, hey, can you step out in the hallway for a second? You're not in trouble. I just need to talk to you. And then when they're out in the hallway, it takes away the audience. It just makes us two people talking about something. And then generally I make it about me. A teacher told me a long time ago that if you make it about you, the kids are less likely to be defensive. And so what I mean by that is, if you say to a kid, I'm noticing how you're acting in class today, and I'm wondering, could I have done anything to offend you or to upset you? And sometimes the kids will just say, felt like you were being unfair. And that gives you the opportunity to apologize and to move on from there. And you're not just making it about the kid and what he did, but you're making it about yourself and what maybe you could have done better. But let's say the whole class is nuts. You walk in, no one's paying attention. They're making you insane. Your hair is turning white. Someone's at my door. Be right back.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And we're back. Where was I? Kids are being nuts in your class. It's insane. First thing you have to do is be prepared for class. Have exactly what they're supposed to have up on the board as soon as they walk in. There's no lag time. There's not 10 seconds of time, right? So what works for me might not work for you, but just to give you some ideas, first thing I do, I greet every single person at the door every single day. I shake every single hand on the way into my room, and that's my way of showing that I respect you and that I'm glad that you're here. And sometimes I might even say, hey man, I'm glad that you're here. Second thing, you have to be prepared every single day. Everything has to be up on the board. This is exactly what you're doing when you come into my room, and they know exactly where to look every day so that they can be prepared. 3, something I found that works for me is I tell a story in the beginning of class. I like telling stories anyway. I generally teach through stories constantly. I'll tell a story like, this is what happened last night. The boy and I played video games, or we went out somewhere, or we watched a movie, and then I'll lead that right into my lesson and we're off. Let's say your class is particularly nuts. Turns out I'm particularly nuts too. For me, what works is doing something maybe a little bit crazy, because that draws everyone's attention back in, right? So I might use a megaphone. I might blow an air horn. Or playing love jams. One of my favorite jams is that love song from Karate Kid 2.
I am a man who will fight for your honor.
Oh yeah, that gets everyone's attention. And the last thing that I think really works, the thing that's worked best for me over the years, is creating relationships with students. If you know a kid and he knows you or she knows you, and you spend time together, you maybe eat lunch together, whether you coach them on a team or you see them in the hallway and just stop and say hello. The more you know about kids and the more they know about you, the more you both become human. And that creates a world of difference in class. Real quick, I want to say, if you have any questions about classroom management or you want to have a conversation about it, you can leave your questions in the comments section below, and I'd love to have the conversation with you. You can even leave me a direct message by going to the About part of our page and just sending me a direct message through there, or through Facebook, or through Instagram, or any other way. I'd love to have the conversation with you. If you think that these ideas are ridiculous, talk about that too. Let's do it all.